Hello, Capricorn. I almost wanted to say Capricorn. I don't know why. Anyway, thank you for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, we're using the Tarot Illuminati by Eric C. Dunn. Supportive Oracle card, Chakra Wisdom Oracle cards by Tori Hartman, illustrated by Gretchen Raish Baskin. There's a spelling. And cool. Capricorn. I'm all about Capricorn at the moment. What's up with What's up with that? What do we got going on? I'm kind of excited about it. So, like, why are we excited? Well, there's a good card. Ooh. Okay, my first thought is, like, this is gonna take one of those weird things, weird twists where, like, it goes well and, like, oh, I think I lost. And then you realize, wait, no, I didn't lose. I actually won. Hold on, wait, what? It's like one of those things. Yeah. I think this is going to be a roller coaster like that. Like, okay, it's going great. Oh my god, the bottom just fell out. Wait, no, it didn't. I actually just got what I wanted. I feel like it's going to be like, oh, wait, what? Oh, I won? It's kind of like that. It's kind of like, playing the lottery and then, looking at the card and, like, none of the numbers hit. And they're like, you're looking at the back of the card, and you're like, you flip it around, like, oh, every number hit. It's like one of those things. There's a lot of energy. I'm kind of like, I'm like excited. I'm like, ah. Expansion, bittersweet, and quest. Now, when this starts, I feel like the first part of this is like you're debunking something. Kind of like things were going well, things were okay, things were just normal. Every day. It's all good. Because you got the Eight of Pentacles here. Like things were every day. Things are as they were. Nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing bad, but nothing bad can be good. You know what I mean? Just normal. We're all good. And then we got the bittersweet coming in right here that's really pushing in with the expansion and the quest. Somebody comes in here or somebody does something and you're like, what? What are you doing? Like somebody does something. It's almost like they do it literally right in front of you. And when they do that, you're like, that makes no sense. It's kind of like, it's like getting ready for like a bake sale. I don't know why I'm using that reference. It's just there. And somebody brings like, cut vegetables or like a bunch of cut vegetables with ranch dip. And you're like, all right, they're like, I guess, it's food, but that's not really bake sale item. Like, we're looking for cakes, cookies, pies, breads, bake sale. Like, bake? Like, you didn't bake that celery, you just cut it up and put it in this, like, bake sale. It's kind of like you want to highlight that, like, bake sale. Like, you were supposed to have baked it. I feel like that's what we're starting with. And it's kind of like, that's weird. It's something like that. I feel like it's a weird analogy. Like somebody feels like it's technically food, so who cares? And you're like, you didn't bake that. It's a bake sale, BAKE, bake. Bake. Put it in the oven. You get it? Yeah. It's kind of like that's not what we were going for here. But you're looking at this and you're like, what is going on? But it's kind of the bittersweet is like. It helps people. If people buy it, I guess it's fine. Like, I guess don't. All right. I feel like you're kind of looking at this like, I guess it works. It's not exactly what people are expecting here, but okay. And you got the quest with the expansion, kind of like, this seems to change things for you. Kind of like, all right, they pulled this left turn thing on me, right? Virgo had a left turn thing too. They pulled this left turn thing on me. But I can make it work. It's really not what I wanted here. This doesn't really fit. But, again, if it helps the situation, I guess we'll just deal with it. Bittersweet's kind of like, you're not really okay with it, but you're like, it works, so I'll make it work. Kind of like, I'll make it work. But then you got the quest with the expansion. And I feel like it's about this person. It's about this person. Because you're like, I need to get this person in line. Because they're just a little cuckoo. To you, they're a little cuckoo. And you have to, like, debunk, like, why is this happening? Like, why did they do that? you got the success here with the wisdom and the facade. You're trying to figure out, like, what are we up to here? Why are you doing that? When it's a bake sale and you bring that, why you bring, like, cut vegetables, which isn't bad, but why are we doing that? And you're finding out this person's like, maybe they're one of those people that they're like, well, I'm keto, and I don't really want. I mean, I want people to have options like I want options. So I don't want to really make something with flour or and sugar. They're kind of doing something like that, and you're kind of like, okay, and you're thinking to yourself, but there are ways to do that with keto. Like, you can make a keto cake, you just use different types of flour, different types of sweetener. You can still do that. Like, and I feel like you're kind of like, you're still debunking this. Like, okay, that's what they're telling me, and I sort of understand that, but on the other hand, there are still ways to make you can make a baked good, and it can still be keto. Like, you're like, wait a minute, hold on. There's a way to get around that. So you're still kind of getting a little deeper, unfolding this situation. Like, wait. They're giving me a reason. It's just not holding water. I feel like that's, like, the facade is like, they're still kind of playing some type of game here. Something isn't right. Kind of like, I'm not totally buying this. The success is here with them with the wisdom, which makes me feel like they know you're not buying this. It's almost like your face is saying, okay, sure, okay, because you can make keto things that are baked still, so sure, all right. I feel like that's kind of like, I don't think you're trying to be annoyed, but you're just kind of like, you're giving me a line of crap, and I know it. Like, we both know it. The success is here. I'm feeling it again, because I feel like they're like, all right. If I really want to get along with the Capricorn, I think this is the success with the wisdom. I got to come forward with the truth. I forgot. And on the way here, I didn't want to just buy some like a store-bought baked good, because I knew that was going to really come off bad. So I bought cut vegetables and got some ranch dressing, and I just figured it would at least look like I put in the effort. And in truth, I just forgot, and I just did it in 2 seconds on the way here because I completely forgot about it. And I just didn't want to let people down, even though I apparently did anyway. So I feel like I almost feel like that's the success with them, with the wisdom. Like, they realize you're not buying this line of crap, and they're just like, all right, I'm going to just tell you what really happened. And I just literally forgot. Life gets busy. I got real busy. I was other things going on, and I just literally forgot till the last second. So I pulled it together because I just wanted to contribute. So that's what I did. Something like that. They're just telling you the truth. So when this comes in and they're telling you the truth, this makes sense. Okay. Because I was like, is this really what... Yeah, no, okay. This is their side. Their side. This is what's going on with them. They're embarrassed. 9 of Swords. They're embarrassed. And you're not really impressed with it, but the fact that they at least owned up to it, that's something. Like, they owned up to it. Like, they owned up to it. That means something. I feel like to Capricorn that means something. If they at least own up to it, okay. That's something. They're not really sure if they can make this right with you. I feel like that's the 5 of Swords, and you're not really sure if they can make it right with you either, but you like that they at least were honest about it. And the Hermit card with them is like, they almost feel like this emotional debt. Like, because I don't see you giving them a hard time once they admit the truth. Kind of like, well, this is what we got. So at this point, you're too busy. You're like, well, this is what we got. We're going to roll with it. We're just going to do what we got to do. But they're emotionally, they feel like they kind of owe you, because you're not really like giving them a big hard time about it. And once they come clean and give you the truth, you're like, okay, all right, that happens. You seem to just let it go. At least on the outside, you seem to let it go. I'm not really feeling bad about it. But this also sets you up in a different way that you seem to like. Kind of like, wait a minute. This actually worked out good. Whatever this was, you're kind of seeing the positive in it. this person being honest with you actually makes you happy. Kind of like, instead of somebody trying to sell you a line of crap that everybody knows is crap, and then just kind of holding to it forever and a day, and you're like, no, that's not how that worked, but okay. They came forward and they gave you the truth. That does seem to raise your energy. Kind of like, at least this person was honest. And that's what you're holding on to. Like, at least they were honest. You got passion with the Queen of Pentacles. Don't get caught up in the gender. But what I feel like this is saying is like, all right, wait a minute. If they're going to be honest with me at least, I think I can work with this. Because there's other things I need them to help with in the future. And if I know that life gets busy for them and I know they forget things, I can reconstruct this differently. Because, every now and then we just need somebody who can like move quickly at the end and just make quick changes. We need somebody who can do that. So if they try to pull it together at the last minute, if that's who this person is, maybe I just make sure they're in the correct spot to where if we need that, they're where we need them, so that they can be the quick save when we need it. Ironically, you're also the type of person I feel like is like, I don't like that things changing at the last minute. I really don't like that. But on the other hand, if we have somebody who can just pick that up and do something with it, that's the person we want there. And you're looking at this kind of like, all right, those cut vegetable things, I really didn't think that was a good idea, but some people really liked that. It was kind of an unexpected thing, but we sold it. It worked out. We made money off of it. People didn't expect it, but seemed to like it. It's fine. So maybe this can be of value. You're kind of like, you like, this person made a positive impression because they owned up to it and they were honest. And that's what you seem to really like. You don't like that it went the way it went totally, but the fact that this person was at least honest, you do like that. And that it was kind of obvious that you weren't going to fall for it, and they honored that, and you like that. Now, the next thing coming in, even though you're seeing this person as they can be the quick save, is what I'm getting, you still want a plan with that. In the sense of like, I don't know why I'm laughing, but it's killing me. Kind of like, if we need a quick save, let's plan for that. Kind of like, the whole point of a quick save is like, something's going to go left that we didn't expect. So this person needs to be able to pick it up and run with it. It's like it's kind of like, you can't plan for everything. It's like colors. Like, there's a multitude of colors out there. You can't make a plan for every color, or numbers even. You can't make a plan for every number. Something like that. But you got release with the 5 of Cups. And I feel like there's like, you're trying to get this person in line to where they have backup plans or something like that. There's something about the way your energy works with their energy. It's kind of like, it feels like fire and earth. It doesn't have to be fire and earth. It could be air, could be even a water sign or another earth sign. They just don't think the way you think. But you're trying to like, all right, how about you do this going forward? How about you be the quick save? And it doesn't seem like it's jiving right off the bat. The way you're looking at it, the way they're looking at it, it's not jiving. You're kind of like, well, that didn't work this other time through, but you were honest, and you seem to be the last minute person, so let's put you in a spot where you can utilize that gift that you have, and you can handle things if necessary. And you're trying to put things together in a certain way, but you got release in the 5 of Cups. It doesn't seem like they're very open to it at first, but I do think it's a good idea. That's the thing. I do think it's a good idea. They're despondent. They're like, no, I don't want to be that one. I want to be in with everybody else. I want to be just like everybody else. I just forgot. I'm sorry. Just because I don't want to be put into that category just because I did that one time. I mean, I owned up to it, but it doesn't mean I want to be that person. Impassable or impasse with perseverance. I feel like there's a lot of conversations with this. Kind of like, no, I need you to do this. I need you to do that. Since you did, it kind of worked out in the last minute, but we don't want to like have you on the roster for, making the wedding cake, and then the day of you're like, oh crap, I forgot about the whole thing, because the wedding cake takes a lot of time to make and put together. We don't want like a 5-minute wedding cake. We don't want that. So if we put you in like, if somebody needs like a last minute preparations, or somebody needs a ride quick to the wedding or whatever, I don't know, we're going into weddings now, different situation. If we need that last minute thing, you can do that, and you can be ready for that, and you can be planning for that. Like, okay, just in case this last minute thing needs to happen. We don't want you doing something that is definitely needs a lot of preparation if you're going to forget things or be crushed for time or crunched for time. This just isn't going over well. I feel like they're just not receiving this well. They don't like it. But it makes sense, kind of like, if you're going to be that person that, you forget things and life gets very crazy for you, then let's put you in the proper spot the way that can be okay. The Three of Pentacles is there's a lot of work back and forth. They're giving you a hard time. But you're very strong, I want to say insistent, kind of like, listen, we're not going to put you in a spot that needs a lot of preparation if you're crunched for time. You know what I mean? Then something about this person, I feel like you're looking at them like when they get something done, they do it quick. Like, okay, that'll work. Let's just do this. Okay, let's do that. Okay, quick. They do it quick. And it's kind of like cooking. In my opinion, most times, not all times, it takes a bit of preparation and putting things together for like a good home cooked meal. Not all times, but most times. And you're kind of looking at it like this. Like, this position over here needs a lot of care and planning and pulling it together and giving it time and nurturing and, stuff like that. This person, they're like, that works. We want dinner. Kraft macaroni and cheese. Pop it in the microwave. Done. And you're like, that is not what we're looking for here. You're like, that is not what we're looking for here. So you're very insistent. I'm getting the word insistent again, which is fine. That this is how they need to handle that. This is what they need to do. And it looks like they're not going to go for it. And I think this is the down part. Like, they're giving you a lot of pushback. But I feel like they finally give in to it. Because you have staying power. Earth usually doesn't give in very easily. When you believe you're right and you believe this is how things could go, you don't just give up. You're just kind of like, no, I really think. For some reason, they realize that this is going to their benefit. I feel like the whole trick of this, you have to find a way to show them the value in this. And to show them, like, this will be easier for you, and you're still going to be looked at very positively. Like, you have to somehow... That's what they need to know. This is really good for them, and they're going to be seen in a very positive light. It's just them using their asset, what they're good at. Perception has to turn around for them, somehow making them see it in a better light. Because I feel like they're just not seeing it the way you're seeing it, but they need to. Like, it's going with their strengths, and it's hard for them to do that for some reason. It's almost like they feel like they're being left out, or they're being like singled out in some negative way, and I don't think that's really what's going on. You're just kind of like, well, that's how you work. Let's use it to its advantage. Let's just do it to the good here. Miracle in the recovery is like, this does go better. I feel like you still want this person as the last minute, like, just in case things go south, where they can pick things up and put them together. I do feel like you want that, kind of like, well, things are going bad, we just need to save it one way or another, and they can do that. So they'll do that. There might be a compromise here where they do that, plus maybe, for example, if they're in charge of the wedding cake, they're working with 2 or 3 other people, to where the other people will keep them in the loop and keep them going and make sure that, don't forget this. Like, you can bring this, bring that, and we'll use that. Like, they'll kind of work with that energy how they need to. It might be like that, a cooperative effort. So they may be a part of a team and not just working on their own. Because I'm getting recovery with the miracle. Like, I feel like there might be a compromise where they're the last minute person just in case something needs to be caught, but they also work with like a group of a couple other people, and that keeps them in line, so we don't have to worry about them forgetting till last minute. There's interesting energy here at the end. It's good. This is a good way to handle it. This is the strongest card, which is it's kind of like, this deck, it does feel like it flounders between Page and Knight. Both the Prince and the Princess, they both seem to do that, in my opinion. They just kind of flounder back. The energy just seems to warble back and forth, which means sometimes it's going to take a life of its own and just kind of go on autopilot. Other times there's going to be some initiative pushing this forward. But this is a good way to handle this. they seem to not like it, and there seems to be a lot of negative talk around this. Be aware of this with this person. This is a good position for them. This is a good way to handle this. This is really kind of good, the way this is being worked out. But you got gossip here. Gossip is gossip. I don't think we need to explain that. You seem to be just staying out of it, but I'm getting like somebody's upset because they feel like they're singled out or something, or they're not able to do what they want to do. It's kind of like, they have big plans and they want big things to happen, but they don't seem to be, they want big things to happen, but they don't seem to put in the effort to really make it happen. So they come in with all these grand ideas, but when push comes to shove, it's kind of like, we're going to do this great big fun house, and then when it actually comes to it, it's like the last half hour, they're just like rushing to make some type of, quick thing come together. It's just like all these grand ideas turned out very minimal because the planning with them is not good. They don't like it, but it's the best way to handle it. And I feel like you keep holding back, and you're just kind of like, that's your role now. Like, you're not letting them take over the main thing anymore. You're putting them in a different situation because it's kind of like they have grand ideas, but they don't follow through on them. The Tower card is telling me this person might be a problem more later. The Tower card is pulling that in. Let's just do the Tower card by itself. I actually do feel like gossip, you might want to be not a part of the gossip, like you don't want to perpetuate it, but you kind of want to find out what's being said, and you want to debunk that. You want to be that person that says, well, all right, wait a minute, what are we saying? These 5 things here that you're saying, 4 of them, I don't know where those came from, because there's nothing backing that up. Those 4 things, I don't know where that came from, but there's no reality to those. This 5th thing has some reality to it, but here's where that actually came from, and here's what actually is going on. I feel like Capricorn's good with that. Kind of like, wait a minute, whoa. Let's look at the reality. Let's see where this is actually stemming from. Let's go right here. All right, so this is where this is coming from. This one makes sort of sense. It's off. It's kind of like a really sour note. Like, we need to tune that up because this information isn't right. So let's put that in line. And again, these other 4 things, I don't know where that came from, but I don't know why you're even thinking that. Those 4 things, they're not in reality. That's not happening. I think that's a big piece of the advice here. I know this may sound wrong, but do not ignore the gossip. Find out what's being said and shut it down. Shut it down, because that tower is right here in my hand. That tower is looming. There's going to be some type of hubbub at some point. But like letting that gossip get out of control is going to make it so much worse, because people are going to get in their heads that this is going on and that's going on, and it's not even the truth. So if you could keep your ear to the ground, hear what's going on, and keep shutting it down, even if you have other people helping you, and you're just like, let me know what's being said so that we can shut it down. Like, this energy will create a life of its own. It may be completely fictitious, but it will create a lot of problems. We want to shut it down. Don't just ignore it. I honestly understand the reason, like, why you'd want to ignore it, kind of like that's foolish. I have other things to do. I don't have time to police that, and I don't want to police that. Completely understand that. But it's also the same thing where people get upset about things, and people get these things in their head, and they think this is going, and they think that's going, and they get all riled up, and then when they bring it forward, and you're like, that's not happening, they accuse you of lying, and then people start freaking out. They're like, it is happening. I heard this, and I heard that, and that happened over there, so since that happened over there, I saw a blue car pass the house. And since, I know that person has a blue car, I'm sure it was them. They were stalking me. And that's not even where they were. You're like, well, they weren't even in town that day. Yes, they were. You're lying for them. Like, it gets crazy like that. Like, you want to shut it down. That's what I'm saying. It will be a ridiculousness. The tower will hit. It will cause a lot of problems. I totally get not wanting to deal with the gossip. Totally get it. But I feel like they're warning you. Like, don't let that get out of control. It doesn't have to be that big of a deal. Have other people help you, and have other people help you keep shutting it down. Like, that's not rooted in reality. That's not rooted in reality. That's not rooted in reality. Okay, this one, there's a smidge of reality in here, but this is what's actually happening instead of that. It's like aggravating. I can feel it being very aggravating, but they're just saying, in the long run, it keeps your plan in focus. It keeps your plan on track. Otherwise, it will take your plan off track. It will cause delays and disruption, and you'll have to deal with it, and you won't want to, and it'll aggravate you because it takes things off plan. If you see it and keep dealing with it as you keep going, even though you don't like it, plan stays on track. Okay, that was a long one. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.